What if your greatest power was not in your action, but in your reaction? What if the ability to command any room and conquer any challenge was found not in what you do, but in the space before you do it? True strength isn't about controlling the world. It's about owning yourself. Own your reactions. Stoic Strength, Unbeatable Presence, compiled and published by Stoic Power. Lesson 1. Mastering the Inner Calm. Imagine a deep, clear mountain lake. On a windy day, its surface is a frenzy of motion. Waves chop, ripples spread, and the reflection of the sky is shattered into 1,000 glittering fragments. To an observer on the shore, the lake appears chaotic and unsettled. But this is only a surface story. Far below, in the silent, pressurized depths, the great body of water remains profoundly still and undisturbed. The turmoil of the wind and waves cannot penetrate this core of tranquility. The lake's true nature is not the fleeting agitation on its surface, but the immense, unwavering calm that lies beneath. This provides a powerful metaphor for a core inner conflict that defines modern life. We live on the agitated surface of our own minds. The winds of daily life, a constant barrage of emails, social media notifications, deadlines, and the opinions of others, whip our thoughts into a state of perpetual restlessness. The problem statement is this: we have come to believe that this surface-level chaos is our identity. We think the anxiety, the reactivity, and the constant mental chatter is who we are, leading to a state of chronic exhaustion and a feeling of being powerless against the noise. We have forgotten that, like the lake, we possess a deep and vast reservoir of inner calm, a foundational stillness that is our birthright. The transformative solution is to learn how to consciously access and abide in your inner calm. You must become the master of your own inner depths, learning to anchor your awareness in the stillness that lies beneath the noisy surface of your thoughts. The core idea is that you are not the waves. You are the entire lake. Your thoughts and emotions are fleeting weather patterns on the surface, but your core consciousness is the deep, silent, and stable body of water. By learning to shift your identification from the surface to the depths, you gain the ability to observe the mental and emotional storms without being swept away by them. This ancient wisdom, a cornerstone of Stoic practice referred to as euthymia or tranquility, is a powerful antidote to the frenzy of the modern world. It is not about creating an artificial peace or suppressing your thoughts, but about discovering the peace that is already inherent to your being. This inner calm is the foundation of all true strength and resilience. It is the solid ground upon which an unbeatable presence is built. To begin the practice of mastering your inner calm, you must create a daily ritual of sinking below the surface. For the next week, schedule just 10 minutes each day for this exercise. This is a non-negotiable appointment with your deeper self. Find a quiet place to sit, close your eyes, and for the first couple of minutes, simply observe the surface of your mind. Notice the thoughts, the worries, the plans, like ripples on the water. Don't engage with them, just watch them. Then, begin to shift your attention. Imagine your awareness as a point of light, and with each slow exhale, allow it to sink deeper, below the surface chatter, into the silent, still vastness within. Your mind will pull you back to the surface. This is normal. Your practice is not to fight this, but to gently and repeatedly guide your awareness back down to the depths each time you notice it has drifted. The profound benefit of this daily practice is that you will begin to carry this sense of inner calm with you throughout the day. The world won't seem as loud, and your own thoughts won't feel as tyrannical. You will develop a quiet inner space, a sanctuary of stillness that you can return to in moments of stress. This is the first and most critical step to owning your reactions. You are learning that you are the deep, calm lake, not just the fleeting waves. Once we have mastered this inner calm, we have a foundation from which to face the world. In our next lesson, we will learn how to use this calm to embrace life's challenges, not as threats, but as opportunities. If you are ready to discover your own deep calm, declare it in the comments below. I will find my stillness. Your commitment to this practice helps our entire community find its center. Please remember to subscribe to the Stoic Power channel and like this video to continue your journey. Lesson 2. Embracing life's challenges. Imagine a blacksmith in his forge. A piece of raw, unformed iron in his tongs. The iron is soft and has little practical use. The blacksmith's goal is to transform it into a strong, resilient tool. To do this, he does not shield the iron from hardship. He does the opposite. He deliberately thrusts it into the heart of a roaring fire, heating it until it glows with an almost unbearable intensity. He then places it upon the anvil and strikes it with powerful, deliberate blows. He subjects it to the very forces of heat and pressure that would destroy lesser materials. He embraces these challenges, not because he hates the iron, but because he knows this is the only path to forge it into something of value and strength. This provides a powerful metaphor for our relationship with life's challenges. We all desire to be strong, resilient, and capable. Yet, our deep-seated inner conflict is that we instinctively flee from the very experiences that create these qualities. The problem statement is this: we see challenges, a difficult project, a personal setback, a physical struggle, as purely negative events that diminish our happiness and well-being. We pray for an easy life, a life without the heat of the forge. This aversion to difficulty keeps us soft and untested. When a real crisis strikes, we find we have no resilience, no true strength, because we have spent our entire lives avoiding the blacksmith's fire. The transformative solution is to learn to embrace life's challenges as the very forge of your character. You must adopt the mindset of the blacksmith, who sees the fire and the hammer not as enemies, but as indispensable tools of transformation. The core idea is that challenges are not obstacles on your path. They are the path. Every difficulty you face is a perfectly designed opportunity to forge a specific virtue. A frustrating delay is a chance to forge patience. An unfair criticism is a chance to forge emotional resilience. A daunting task is a chance to forge discipline and courage. When you embrace this mindset, you stop being a victim of your circumstances and become an active participant in your own strengthening. This Stoic principle is the key to an active, engaged, and powerful life. The Stoics taught that we should not merely endure hardship, but welcome it as a sparring partner sent by the universe to make us stronger. This is not about seeking pain for its own sake, but about recognizing the inherent opportunity for growth within the pain that life inevitably sends our way. This reframe turns every problem into a potential source of power. To begin this practice, you must become a challenge seeker in your daily life. For the next week, your task is to intentionally choose the slightly harder path in one small area each day. This is the practice of leaning into the heat. Instead of taking the elevator, take the stairs. Instead of choosing the easy task on your to-do list, start with the most difficult one. Instead of passively consuming entertainment, spend 20 minutes reading a challenging book. You are deliberately choosing to step into the fire in a small, controlled way. As you perform this harder action, your mind will scream for comfort. Your job is to notice that voice of resistance and calmly proceed anyway. You are the blacksmith, and you are choosing to apply the heat. The second part of this practice is to change your mental narrative when an involuntary challenge arises. When you face an unexpected problem or setback, your new, automatic response must be to ask the question, what virtue is this challenge asking me to forge? By asking this question, you immediately shift from a victim mindset, why is this happening to me, to a blacksmith mindset, how can I use this? You are looking for the opportunity within the obstacle. The profound benefit of this practice is that your entire relationship with difficulty will change. You will begin to develop a quiet confidence in your ability to handle whatever life throws at you. The fear of future challenges will diminish because you will start to see them not as threats, but as the very process by which you become the strong, resilient person you wish to be. You are no longer running from the forge. You are stepping into it willingly, ready to be shaped into something stronger. Embracing challenges forges our strength. This newfound strength becomes the bedrock of a new, unshakable form of confidence. In our next lesson, we will explore how to develop this authentic, internally generated confidence. If you are ready to step into the fire, declare it in the comments below. I embrace the forge. Your commitment to facing challenges inspires our entire community. Remember to subscribe to Stoic Power and continue forging your character. Lesson 3. Developing unshakable confidence. Imagine a great, ancient oak tree. Its confidence does not come from the beauty of its leaves, which change and fall with every season. It does not come from the approval of the other trees in the forest. The oak tree's confidence is a deep, quiet, and profound certainty that comes from one place and one place only: the strength and depth of its own roots. It has weathered 1,000 storms, and it knows that its foundation is solid. It doesn't hope it can withstand the next storm. It has a deep cellular knowledge that it can. This is unshakable internal confidence. This brings us to a critical inner conflict. We all desire confidence, but we typically seek it from external sources. The problem statement is this: we build our confidence on a foundation of sand, tying it to things outside our direct control. We feel confident when we get a promotion, when someone praises us, when we look good in the mirror, or when our investments are performing well. This kind of confidence is fragile and fleeting. It is the confidence of the leaves, not the roots. The moment the external validation is withdrawn, we lose the job, we are criticized, we have a bad hair day, our confidence shatters, leaving us feeling insecure and exposed. The transformative solution is to cultivate a deep, unshakable confidence that is rooted internally. You must become the oak tree, drawing your certainty from the strength of your own character and your proven ability to live by your principles, rather than from the fickle applause of the world. The core idea is that Stoic confidence is not about believing I will succeed. It is about believing I can handle whatever happens. It is a confidence in your process, in your resilience, and in your ability to respond with virtue, regardless of the outcome. This form of confidence is completely within your control, and therefore it can never be taken from you. This is the confidence of the Stoic sage. His self-worth was not tied to his wealth, his status, or even his freedom. It was tied to the only thing that was truly his own mind and his own choices. Epictetus, a former slave, was arguably one of the most confident men who ever lived, because he knew that while others could control his body, no one could ever control his inner citadel. This is the source of true, unbeatable presence, a confidence so deep and so authentic that it needs no external proof. To begin developing this unshakable confidence, you must shift your focus from outcomes to actions. For the next week, you will practice the discipline of the inner scorecard. You will create a private journal, and at the end of each day, you will give yourself a score, not on what you achieved, but on how well you lived according to your own values. Did you act with courage, even when you were afraid? Did you act with discipline, even when you felt lazy? Did you act with kindness, even when you were provoked? You are the only judge on this scorecard. The opinion of the world is irrelevant. The second part of this practice is to keep a resilience log. Every time you successfully navigate a challenge, every time you lean into the heat of the forge, you will make a brief note of it. Felt angry, but paused and responded calmly. Felt lazy, but went to the gym anyway. Faced criticism and listened for the lesson instead of getting defensive. This log becomes your personal, undeniable proof of your own growing strength. It is the record of your roots growing deeper. The profound benefit of this practice is that you will begin to build a fortress of self-respect, brick by brick. Your confidence will no longer be a fragile leaf, but a mighty, deep-rooted oak. You will find yourself less needy for praise and less fearful of criticism because your sense of self-worth is being generated internally. You will walk into any room and face any challenge with a quiet, powerful presence, because you are not hoping you are strong. You have a written record that proves you are. Unshakable confidence is the result of proven character. A key component of this character is the ability to master your own impulses. In our next lesson, we will delve into the power of self-control. If you are ready to start building your confidence from the inside out, declare it in the comments below. My confidence comes from my character. Your commitment to this principle helps our entire community grow stronger roots. Please subscribe to Stoic Power to continue this essential work. Lesson 4. The power of self-control. Imagine a skilled charioteer in command of a chariot pulled by two powerful, spirited horses. One horse represents your reason. It is noble, disciplined, and aims for what is good. The other horse represents your appetites and emotions. It is wild, impulsive, and pulls toward immediate gratification. The unskilled driver is dragged helplessly around the track, first by one horse, then the other, crashing into walls and veering off course. His journey is one of chaos. The master charioteer, however, holds the reins with a firm, intelligent grip. He does not try to kill the wild horse, for he needs its power and spirit. Instead, he skillfully guides the energy of both horses, blending the passion of one with the direction of the other, to move the chariot forward with incredible speed and precision towards a chosen finish line. This ancient allegory from Plato perfectly illustrates the inner conflict that lies at the heart of self-control. We are all charioteers, torn between our higher intentions and our lower impulses. We want to be healthy, but the wild horse of appetite pulls us toward junk food. We want to be focused, but the wild horse of distraction pulls us toward our phones. The problem statement is this: when we fail to master the reins, we become slaves to our own impulses. We live a life of internal conflict and external chaos, constantly feeling guilty and frustrated by our inability to make our actions align with our intentions. We feel powerless, not because we lack good intentions, but because we lack the skill to command the powerful energies within us. The transformative solution is to embrace the Stoic art of self-control, seeing yourself as the master charioteer. This is not about a grim, joyless suppression of your desires. It is about the skillful and intelligent management of your inner energies. The core idea is that your emotions and appetites are not your enemies. They are simply powerful, raw energy. Self-control is the art of taking hold of the reins of your will and directing that energy toward your chosen goals, rather than allowing it to drag you toward fleeting and often destructive pleasures. It is the application of your reason as the guiding hand that transforms chaotic power into focused achievement. The Stoics considered self-control, or sophrosyne, to be a cardinal virtue, essential for a free and happy life. They understood that a man who cannot say no to his own worst impulses is not truly free. He is a slave, bound by the invisible chains of his own habits and cravings. True freedom, the Stoics argued, is internal. It is the freedom to choose your response, to act in accordance with your values, and to be the master of your own inner kingdom. To begin your training as a charioteer, you must practice the discipline of the preemptive strike. It is far easier to guide the horses before they have broken into a full gallop. For the next week, your task is to identify the specific situations, times of day, or emotional states that tend to unleash your wild horse. Perhaps it's the feeling of boredom in the afternoon that triggers mindless snacking, or the feeling of stress that triggers a desire to procrastinate. You must become a student of your own patterns. Once you have identified a high-risk situation, you will plan a preemptive strike. Before the impulse has a chance to gather momentum, you will deliberately introduce a better course of action. For example, if you know you get restless at 3 p.m., you will schedule a brief walk at 2:55 p.m. You are steering the horses onto a virtuous path before they have a chance to bolt toward a destructive one. If you know that stress makes you want to argue with your partner, you will make a rule that when you feel stressed, your first action is to spend 5 minutes in silence or listening to calming music. You are taking control of the reins early. The profound benefit of this proactive practice is that you will begin to dismantle the habitual stimulus-response loops that have been controlling you. You will feel an incredible sense of empowerment as you learn to outmaneuver your own worst impulses. Self-control will stop feeling like a constant, draining battle and will start to feel like a skillful, strategic dance. You are no longer being dragged by the wild energies within you. You are becoming the master charioteer, guiding all your power toward a life of purpose and victory. Self-control allows us to direct our inner power. A crucial application of this power is in facing one of humanity's greatest challenges, fear. In our next lesson, we will learn how to conquer fear with Stoic wisdom. If you are ready to take the reins, declare it in the comments below. I am the Charioteer. Your declaration of self-command helps guide our entire community. Remember to subscribe to Stoic Power and continue the race. Lesson 5. Conquering Fear with Stoic Wisdom. Imagine a seasoned explorer about to enter a dark, uncharted cave. The cave represents the unknown, the potential for danger, the very heart of fear. The novice would either be paralyzed at the entrance, his mind filled with terrifying images of what might lurk inside, or he would rush in recklessly, armed with nothing but blind hope. The wise explorer, however, does neither. He acknowledges the darkness and the potential for danger, but he does not let it control him. He calmly lights a lantern. The lantern's steady flame does not eliminate the darkness of the cave, but it illuminates the path immediately before him, allowing him to see where to place his next step. He can now move forward with caution, courage, and purpose. The cave is fear. The lantern is Stoic wisdom. This allegory highlights a critical inner conflict in our relationship with fear. We all experience fear. It is a natural, primal emotion designed to keep us safe. The problem statement is this: we often treat fear not as a signal to be assessed, but as a command to be obeyed. We allow the feeling of fear to completely dictate our actions, or rather, our inaction. We become so fixated on the vast, imagined darkness of what could go wrong that we remain paralyzed at the mouth of the cave. We don't make the career change, we don't start the business, we don't take the personal risk, because the fear of the unknown is all-consuming. Our fear becomes a self-fulfilling prophecy of a small, limited life. The transformative solution is to learn to conquer fear by carrying the lantern of Stoic wisdom. The goal is not to become fearless, which is impossible and foolish. The goal is to act courageously in the presence of fear. The core idea is that courage is not the absence of fear, but the judgment that something else is more important than the fear. The lantern of Stoic wisdom is composed of the principles we have been discussing: understanding what is and is not in your control, focusing on your actions rather than outcomes, and trusting in your own resilience. This wisdom doesn't banish the darkness, but it gives you the light to navigate it safely and effectively. The Stoics were masters of this practice. They viewed fear as a product of our imagination, our tendency to catastrophize about future events that have not happened and are likely outside our control. The antidote, they taught, is to pull our minds out of this imagined, terrifying future and to ground them firmly in the present reality and our own agency. The explorer with the lantern is not worried about what's at the end of the cave. He is focused entirely on taking the next safe step that the light reveals. To begin this practice of conquering fear, you must learn to light your lantern in moments of anxiety. For the next week, whenever you feel the cold grip of fear or anxiety about a future event, you will perform a 3-step fear-setting exercise, a modern adaptation of Seneca's practices. Step 1 is to define. Take out a piece of paper and clearly define the worst-case scenario. What are you actually afraid of? Write it down in detail. Dragging the vague monster out of the shadows and into the light often reveals that it is much smaller than you imagined. Step 2 is to prepare. For each element of your defined worst-case scenario, ask yourself, what is one small thing I could do to prevent this or to repair the damage if it did happen? This shifts your mind from a state of passive terror to active, practical problem-solving. You are not just worrying, you are strategizing. Step 3 is to accept. You will look at the worst-case scenario and fully hypothetically accept it. You will visualize it happening and then visualize yourself handling it, surviving it, and learning from it. You will remind yourself of your own resilience, your own inner oak tree. This acceptance robs the fear of its ultimate power, which is the terror of the unknown. The profound benefit of this practice is that you will systematically dismantle your fears by exposing them to the light of reason. You will find that most of your anxieties are formless shadows that dissolve upon inspection. For the real risks, you will feel a new sense of confidence because you will have a practical plan instead of just a vague sense of dread. You are no longer the person frozen at the mouth of the cave. You are the wise explorer, lighting your lantern and taking the next calm, courageous step into the darkness, trusting in your ability to handle whatever the light reveals. Conquering fear allows us to move forward. But what do we do when, despite our courage, we are met with failure and hardship? In our next lesson, we will learn the alchemical art of transforming adversity into pure strength. If you are ready to light your lantern, declare it in the comments below. I will walk with wisdom. Your commitment to conquering fear shines a light for our entire community. Remember to subscribe to Stoic Power to keep your flame bright. Lesson 6. Transforming adversity into strength. Imagine a master alchemist in his laboratory. On his bench sits a dull, heavy piece of lead. To the common eye, it is worthless, a symbol of burdens and base matter. The alchemist, however, sees it with different eyes. He sees not what it is, but what it can become. He knows that through a difficult and secret process, a process involving intense fire, purification, and transformation, this worthless lead can be transmuted into the most prized substance on earth, pure, shining gold. The lead is not an obstacle to his great work. It is the essential raw material for it. The adversity is the very heart of the miracle. This is the ultimate metaphor for our relationship with life's greatest difficulties. We all face periods of adversity, the lead of our lives. It could be a career failure, a financial crisis, a painful loss, or a health struggle. The inner conflict is that we see this adversity as purely negative, as a heavy, worthless substance that weighs us down and tarnishes our lives. The problem statement is this: by viewing adversity as a curse, we become its victim. We feel crushed by its weight, and we become bitter or resentful about the unfairness of it all. We are the person who sees only the dull, heavy lead, completely blind to the fact that within it lies the potential for pure gold. The transformative solution is to become the alchemist of your own life. You must learn to see every piece of adversity not as a roadblock on your path, but as the path itself. The core idea, which lies at the very heart of Stoic philosophy, is that the universe presents us with challenges not to break us, but to transform us. Every obstacle is a lump of lead, containing a hidden opportunity to forge the gold of a specific virtue. A painful failure contains the gold of humility and wisdom. A betrayal contains the gold of stronger boundaries and better judgment. A loss contains the gold of deeper compassion and appreciation for what remains. The art of living a noble life is the art of mastering this inner alchemy. The Roman Emperor Marcus Aurelius perfectly captured this principle. He wrote, "The impediment to action advances action. What stands in the way becomes the way." This is not just a clever slogan. It is the most empowering mindset a human being can adopt. It means that nothing can truly stop you, because you can use everything that happens as fuel for your own growth and an opportunity to practice virtue. You are no longer at the mercy of fortune, because you have the power to transmute whatever fortune sends your way into something of value. To begin your practice as a mental alchemist, you must learn to ask the alchemical question. From now on, whenever you are faced with a significant piece of adversity, you will first allow yourself to feel the natural, initial pain of the situation. But then you will take yourself to your inner laboratory by opening a journal. You will describe the lead, the objective facts of the difficult situation. Then you will write down and thoughtfully answer the alchemical question: how is this exact situation the perfect opportunity for me to forge a specific virtue and become the person I aspire to be? You must actively search for the hidden gold. If you've been publicly embarrassed, the alchemical question might be, how is this the perfect opportunity for me to develop genuine humility and to detach my self-worth from the opinions of others? If you are facing a period of intense and boring work, the question could be, how is this the perfect chance to forge an unbreakable sense of discipline and to practice finding purpose in any task? You are refusing to accept the lead at face value. You are deliberately applying the fire of your reason to find its hidden potential. The profound benefit of this practice is that you will become truly anti-fragile, a term for systems that gain strength from chaos and disorder. You will no longer fear setbacks because you will have a protocol for extracting value from them. Your past pains will be transformed from sources of trauma into sources of wisdom. You will develop an unshakable confidence, knowing that no matter what life gives you, you possess the alchemical secret to turn it into gold. You are no longer a victim of the elements. You are the master alchemist, creating a life of immense value from the base materials of ordinary human struggle. We have learned to master our inner world and transform our outer challenges. In our final lesson, we will integrate all of these skills to create an unbeatable presence in the world. If you are ready to become the alchemist of your own life, declare it in the comments. I will find the gold. Your commitment to this transformative view inspires us all. Please subscribe to Stoic Power and let's continue the great work. Lesson 7. Living with Unbeatable Presence. Imagine a grand mountain peak, its summit piercing the clouds. It has stood for eons, a silent, immovable witness to the chaotic dance of weather and time in the valleys below. The mountain does not strive, it does not announce its strength, it does not command the clouds to part or the winds to cease. It simply is. And by the sheer, undeniable force of its stable, grounded, and unwavering presence, it dominates the entire landscape. Its presence is a quiet, profound statement of power. It is a center of gravity for the world around it. This mountain is the embodiment of a fully realized Stoic mind. This is the culmination of our journey, and it highlights our final inner conflict. After all our training, cultivating calm, embracing challenges, building confidence, mastering fear, and transmuting adversity, how do we bring this power into the world? The problem statement is that we often feel a lingering need to prove our newfound strength. We feel we must demonstrate our calm, showcase our resilience, or project our confidence. This final, subtle striving to perform can ironically undermine the very presence we seek to have. We are the mountain, feeling an insecure need to remind everyone how big and strong it is. This final flicker of neediness is the last barrier to true mastery. The transformative solution is to learn to live with unbeatable presence, which means trusting that the quality of your inner being is, by itself, a powerful force in the world. The core idea is that you do not need to project presence, you need to be present. When you have done the deep, internal work, your presence becomes a natural radiation of your character. Your inner calm creates a field of calm around you. Your inner strength gives strength to others. Your inner clarity helps clarify the situations you are in. You lead, influence, and command respect not by what you do, but by the gravitational force of who you have become. This is the ultimate expression of Stoic mastery. It is a state of being where your actions flow effortlessly and virtuously from your well-ordered inner state. It is the quiet confidence of the person who has nothing to prove because their character speaks for itself. This unbeatable presence is not aggressive or loud. It is serene, solid, and completely self-possessed. It is the presence of the mountain, which does not need to shout to be felt for miles around. Your final practice is not a new exercise, but a commitment to a new way of living. It is the practice of embodied action. From this day forward, before you enter any significant situation, a meeting, a family gathering, a difficult conversation, you will take a single moment to connect with your inner mountain. You will not plan your words or rehearse your performance. Instead, you will simply bring to mind the feeling of the qualities you have cultivated, the deep calm of the lake, the resilience of the oak, the focus of the charioteer, the wisdom of the alchemist. You will anchor yourself in the feeling of your own inner strength. Then, you will enter the situation with only one goal: to let your actions be a natural expression of that inner state. You will trust that the right words will come from a place of clarity. You will trust that the right decisions will flow from a place of calm. You will trust that your quiet, grounded presence is your most powerful tool. You are letting go of the need to control the impression you make, and instead, you are focusing entirely on being a true expression of the character you have forged. The profound benefit of this final practice is the achievement of a state of effortless mastery and authentic power. The strain of performance will fall away, replaced by a sense of deep integrity. Your influence will grow, not because you are trying harder, but because people will be drawn to the undeniable authenticity and stability of your presence. You will have achieved the ultimate Stoic victory, a life where your inner peace and your outer effectiveness are one and the same. You are no longer just climbing the mountain. You have become the mountain. From mastering the inner calm to embodying an unbeatable presence, you now hold the keys to Stoic strength. You have learned that challenges are your forge, fear is your guide, and adversity is your raw material for power. This is the path to owning your reactions and living with unwavering confidence. Thank you for your dedication to this profound journey of self-mastery. Your commitment to building your inner citadel strengthens not only you, but the world around you. If this journey has empowered you, please like the video, share your commitment in the comments, and subscribe to the Stoic Power channel to continue your practice of this timeless wisdom.